I also got the chance to speak with State Vice Chair of the State Board of Education, Dr. Leak. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me, and this is a really special moment because I know you have some ties to HF. So just taking a walk through the halls, what do you notice that's different about this place?
The one thing that I noticed first and foremost was they replaced some of the flooring, which I thought was great. But I want to say thank you to you for doing this particular interview, because I think it's important for the students at HF to hear from us, that we're not just here hosting a meeting, that we really want you to hear from us, and that, that you all are really interested in that. So what else I noticed is different is nothing. It feels the same. I have been, I started my student teaching career in 1989 in G building here at HF as a math teacher, and I spent 7 years here working as a math teacher, math department chair. I was the cheerleading coach, which a lot of people thought I only coached cheerleading, but I also was the math chair. But it feels the same in terms of the high expectations, the expectation of excellence, no matter what. You can feel it in this building. So you also notice the newness, the new science wing, the field house that you all have now that was not here in 1992. Even the updates to G building, a lot of those things weren't here. But at the end of the day, what I notice is that it is still the same place that it has been in terms of high achieving excellence. And when they say once a Viking, always a Viking, that's how I felt when every time I walk in this building. And I have to say I have 2 students who graduated from HF, a 24 graduate who is now a sophomore at Emory, and a 22 graduate who is a senior at Michigan State. And we packed up our family and moved from Hyde Park to Flossmoor when they were 3 and 5, or no, I'm sorry, 2 and 4, so that they would have the opportunity to go to Homewood-Flossmoor High School, just because I knew how much it meant in terms of the expectations. And I'll even say to you, Layla, I wouldn't be sitting here today if it was not for my experiences as a staff member here at Homewood-Flossmoor High School. So I cannot emphasize enough. When I say it feels the same, it might look different, but it feels the same.
Well, thank you for sharing that. Now, Dr. Leak, I'm sure you probably don't want to brag about yourself, but I will. You're an example of that Viking excellence. In my research, I found that you were the first Black department chair here at HF. Is that true?
That is true. Yes, I was. I was the department chair for mathematics. I was 25. I was a child. I did not know what I was getting into. But at the time, I was actually the first Black math teacher here, and I really worked hard to make sure that we brought in diversity, because we had African American children who I felt like needed to see people who look like me to say, you can do this. And that was a while ago. You're aging me. That was 92, 93. Yes, it was a while ago.
Well, how much does it mean to come back to a place that I'm sure was a special moment in your career?
So as I said, this is where I started my career as a student teacher, and I came back here in 1990 as a math teacher, and I did not know my own capacity, but HF said to me, you have the ability to go further than you ever thought you could. And so it's the administrators who pushed me, the expectations that were set for me. I got my doctorate while I was here. I had never even thought about being an administrator, never even dawned on me. But the administration said, at the time Dr. Murray was the superintendent, and she pushed me and said, you can do this, like you should be out there. When I left HF, the way that we prepare students at HF to do whatever opportunity is awaiting you, it's the same thing for staff. When I left HF, I actually took a job as an international consultant for math. So I took a job that was a global job because of the experiences I had here. And I was able to bring that back when I came back into the public sector. When you have to understand, HF there's no joke. When you say once a Viking, always a Viking, it doesn't matter if you go to school here or if you're a staff here, that's the expectation. And so when I came back with that global perspective, I've been able to be a superintendent, now be on the State Board of Education, but all of that started right here in these doors, these walls.
Wow, that is awesome. Now, Dr. Leak, you have this philosophy, and that's chase your dreams with intensity, passion, and purpose. How does that carry over into your work with the State Board?
So when I say chase your dreams, and I talk about intensity, passion, and purpose, for me, those are the three avenues that you have to always make sure. Don't wait for things to come to you. You have to say, this is what I want to do. And if there's an opportunity, you go after it. You go after it with intensity and that passion that says, this is where I'm supposed to be. When I say purpose, I mean you do the preparation, because the purpose can't happen if you haven't done the preparation. So my idea of chasing is that you don't sit back and wait for people to come to you. You go and find what it is that's the best fit for you.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. Thank you so much for coming in.
Can I just throw something else out?
Sure.
Dr. Sanders talked about the Student Advisory Council, and I have to brag on it, Homewood-Flossmoor, because again, it's all about the excellence and expectation. And so in your class of 24, Xavier White was on our Student Advisory Council and provided a great deal of insight. And I was extraordinarily proud to see him as a leader in that particular organization and as a leader at the state level. So you should know, once a Viking, always a Viking. That is a true word of wisdom for all of the students here.
Wow. Thank you so much for dropping all these gems on us.
Thank you.
Reporting for VTV, I'm Layla Dyer.